and new WWE champion, Paul Bourgon. Put your hands together for Paul, everybody.
One of you guys has a crow problem.
Our Father, for I have sinned.
On the lips. I can't even make my own stuff funny. How am I going to make your stuff funny? Like, ha!
Never have I ever had sex in a public location.
I've been a very bad boy.
That'll be 3 Hail Marys and a Blowski.
It was intended to be a fart, but it turned out to be more than just a fart.
Music to my non-existent ears, man.
Yeah, bada.
And welcome to the Six Nuts podcast. We are 3 comedians, 6 nuts, episode 26. Joined as always by Jordan Angus and Paul Bourgon. Gentlemen, this is a massive show.
Pretty big.
Massive.
Pretty big.
Yeah, it's huge. We got a special guest in the green room. Super excited. This is going to be how did they say it? A banger of an episode.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, how are you guys feeling?
I'm so pumped. I'm actually nervous. Like anyway, I'm happy. I'm very happy. Yeah.
Sweet, man.
I'm just glad to invite another Packers fan to the podcast.
Oh, fuck. Here we go.
There we go.
They're playing tonight. Come on, guys. Come on.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, as a Brown fan and a Packer hater, I control the mute button. So just watch what you say, Jordan. I won't mute Cody, but I let that slip.
Well, without further ado.
Yeah, without further ado, let's bring him in. I'm going to give this amazing intro, and then we'll bring him up on the screen. Huge episode. This is by far the biggest guest we have ever had. He is a Cree actor and filmmaker from Edmonton. He was a Young Artist Award nominee in 1999 for Best Performance in a Feature Film, supporting young actor for Smoke Signals, and won the American Indian Film Festival Award for Best Actor in 2007 for 4 Sheets to the Wind. In 2023, he wrote, directed, and starred in his directorial debut film, Hey Viktor, which you can watch on Crave or Amazon Prime. This year, earlier, he received 2 Canadian Screen Award nominations for his work on the film for Best Lead Performance in a Comedy Film and Best Original Screenplay. Please welcome to the show, everybody, Cody Lightning.
Fucking right, man. Awesome.
Fucking right, boys. What's good, boys?
He's here. Yes.
Cody,
awesome,
pleasure to have you here. We were talking, we had a bunch of questions. We're just going to talk about a few things, but my first question, we like to get guests here on this podcast every once in a while. And I mean, we are huge. We have 67 subscribers. We're seen in over 20 countries all over the world. We just broke into Ecuador. We're massive in Portugal. But my question, curious, why did you decide, or what made you decide, you know what, I'm going to go on this podcast?
I'm a cheap date. I'm very easy. I read the outline. Bring a beer and let's chat. I'm game, dude. That's
yeah.
Right on. Well, sweet. Well, it's a pleasure to have you, man. We're really honored. And this was set up by Paul Bourgon. Paul, maybe tell us the story of what inspired you to get in touch with Cody and how this whole thing came about.
Well, I'm a stand-up comedian, and that's it. So I got a lot of free time on my hands, you know what I mean? And so I watch a lot of movies. I watch a lot of like anything. I finished Crave. Like I finished Netflix. You know, I've watched it all. And I'm at the point now where I'm just like, all right, I'll give this a try. All right, I'll give that a try. And I just randomly clicked on Hey Viktor, and I was blown away. Like I was blown away in the sense that I didn't expect it. You know, like I didn't expect the humor to come out of it. I have some questions to follow up on it, but I was really, really pumped up on it. So much so that I watched it a few times. It has that kind of Canadian style of humor that's very difficult to find if you understand what I'm saying. And I don't know, man. I just was like, it was like finding gold in a way. You know, I was like, oh my God, like I was almost mad at myself for not knowing of who you were sooner, you know. And I was really, really pumped. And I watched it, and after I watched it, it was like 3:00 in the morning. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm messaging him. Like if I'm messaging him, if I don't, I'm gonna regret this for the rest of my life, you know. So I just shoot your shot, as they say, right?
Nice.
Slid into those DMs. You slid in.
Did
You
I
slid
ever?
in
Yeah.
hard.
Amazing,
You,
man.
you slid in
Yeah.
real slippery.
Oh,
like.
did I ever? Yeah. I got a knack for that kind of thing. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Cody, what was your initial reaction when you got this this DM? Were you like, yeah, I got to do this, or were you like, who the hell?
Oh
are
yeah,
these guys?
no, I get quite a few. I get quite a few requests and stuff like that, and for the most part, I'm always down. Especially when it's comedy, other comedians, podcast stuff. I'm always down for that. Sometimes it's like, hey, I do something in my garage with a friend, and nobody knows it. I'm like, who are you? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it is a flip of a coin, to be honest, but I'm usually always down. But yeah, so I just I said, sure, fuck it, why not? It was early in the morning. My girlfriend, babe, what are you doing? I was like, I think I might do a podcast or something coming up
Right on.
soon. And she's like, let me see, who are you talking to? And I was like, it's a guy, honey. Thought I was talking to chicks.
The two of you look
right
me up.
beside her,
Two of you
real
look me up on
greasy.
Facebook. Like every fucking picture is me with a drink. He looks like the kind of guy I'd get along with. Yeah.
I'm down.
Like, literally, I look at myself on Facebook once. I just looked at my pictures and like 99% of them, I'm holding the drink in them. I'm just like, I gotta fucking take these things down, right? But it's a good way to fish.
No.
It's a good way to fish in new guests.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it sold me. I was on a thing for my buddies. He has a YouTube thing, but he was going around different breweries, so I got to go to a brewery and get hammered. And
That's awesome.
That was cool.
Nice. Well, speaking of brewery, we got to get to a segment we always do to open up every episode, and it's a segment called, Jordan, what's it called?
Hold my beer.
I am pumped about this one. This is Hold My Beer, segment where we go around the virtual room, introduce our beverage of choice for this episode. And Jordan and Paul, I was chatting with Cody before we came on. You guys are going to be blown away. So let's save him for last. Jordan, let's go to you first.
All right.
Choice today.
I got free beer from somebody at the open mic. It's what I love about this podcast. People give me free beer now. So I got
Nice.
Blue Moon. It's a Belgian. Yeah, I've had it before. It's not bad. It's pretty good. So cheers, boys.
It's a Belgian.
Cheers.
Yeah, we're big in Belgium. I think we have about 12 viewers in Belgium. So
Jean-Claude Van Damme better be one of them. I tell you that.
All right, out of 10, what do you give it, Jordan?
7.5. 7.5.
Again with the round numbers, man.
Yeah.
7.5.
I know you hate it. You want those
I hate
decimals.
those.
You must have loved pi as you were like in high school. Like,
Yes.
3.14159, baby.
Let's
Go.
like actual pie, like apple pie. Like,
No, those are round.
Pie. Yeah, exactly. All right, 7.5. Paul, let's go down to you.
I'd say about 45 minutes ago, I realized, oh shit, I don't have any beer. So Cody, I don't know. Cody, where are you living right now?
I'm in Edmonton.
You're in Edmonton. Okay, so Edmonton, they probably do it. You're gonna love this. They don't have any. Obviously, I wouldn't have enough time to go to the LCBO or the beer store. So they sell beer now at corner stores here. So like fucking Max Milks, that kind of
Finally.
shit. So as in Edmonton, I fucking knew I was the right move. I went with the Pilsner.
A Pilly. A fucking Pilly, baby.
Nice.
Yeah, I do. I
Nice.
do it. So there you go.
All right. It's a big chug, chug.
It's always a good beer. Hey, gets you where you want to go.
The rabbits. Oh, the little white rabbit.
Yeah.
All right. Out of 10, what's
I gotta give that. It was on the shelf. It wasn't warm. It wasn't a warm pilsner as opposed to a cold one is a little bit different. But I give it an 8.
An 8. Wow, solid.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get to you, Cody, I'm going to introduce a beer I found at the back of the fridge. It's called a Michelob Ultra. I ran out of the beer I like, and I think a friend brought this over, and it's been in the fridge for about 7 years, I would say. I'm a little nervous to open this up. It says exceptional light beer on the can, but it's maybe just light beer.
Yeah.
It's an aged beer now.
Ooh.
Delicious.
Yeah, I don't, what? I'm not a fan. Yeah, I'm going to give that about a 5.294. Out of 10.
Michelob Ultra is what you always see, like those boating videos of people getting wrecked on boats
Yeah,
and like
yeah,
falling.
yeah.
They're always
Yeah.
they're always sipping Michelob Ultras. Dude.
Yeah, yeah.
No one
Real
ever
cool,
has.
guys.
No one
Real
ever.
cool. Yeah.
No one ever has a 40 ounce of Old English on a boat.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, true enough. True enough.
That'd be the best.
All right, so we saved the best for last. Cody Lightning, what is your beverage of choice for this episode?
well, I know it was hold my beer, but I'm easing off of beer. I got a gluten thing, but I don't give a shit about it. So I've been going heavy on IPAs, but I was like, ugh. So I'm doing Happy Dad today.
Awesome.
It's a seltzer, and then just in case it gets a little, we want to spice things up. I always got R&R on me at all times.
Yeah.
you know,
Of
so
Yes, sir. Woo! Yes, sir. We love that.
always. It's a staple in my life. So yeah, I'm gonna go.
Love
I
it.
got the what is it? The fruit punch hard seltzer. Let's go.
Yeah.
Love it, man. Look at that. Open shirt and everything. I love it.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Yes, with
it's
the
good.
belch. With the belch. Woo!
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Cheers.
I'll
Nice.
take
Cheers.
it. I don't really drink like too many of these types of things, but I'm down with this one.
What is it? A
I'll give
seltzer?
it
It's a seltzer?
It's a seltzer, so this is like
Oh,
a
okay.
vodka one, I think.
Yeah, okay, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, vodka.
Nice.
That's the good stuff.
One thing I don't mind about this brand, like my girlfriend drinks like White Claws and stuff. I hate those.
Oh,
Yeah.
But this is like a buddy company. It's just like some dudes that got this company together. So like if I do
nice.
drink these types of drinks, I'm down.
That's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that
White
a
Claw,
local beer?
White Claw is like sooner or later you get tired of wiping your butt. Like White Claw just goes right through you. You know?
Exactly.
The
So,
funny thing
Cody.
about Pilsner. Oh, sorry. What's that?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say with Paul drinking Pilsner, it was funny. Just a couple years ago, a quick story. I went backpacking on this really crazy hike up in Jasper before it like burned. But my two buddies are hockey players, so they're like mountain goats up there. They got like beef jerky and trail mix and fucking everything. And then they're like, "Codes, what you bring?" On my backpack, I brought a 15-pack of Pillies and baby wipes. And they,
Yeah.
And it
And by
was-
the end of the trip, they're like, "Yeah, can we get some of those baby wipes?" Yeah. Nope.
yeah, it was a
fantastic.
fucking 9-hour hike, and they were like, "Dude, just slow and steady the whole way up." And then we finished it, and they were like, "You son of a bitch, you did it!" And I'm like, "I don't play, like I don't."
Yeah,
play
that's right.
fucking-
It's good.
That's amazing. So
That's
a rating.
awesome.
You got to give us a rating, Cody, for either one of those drinks.
yeah,
that you had.
yeah. I gave this an 8.
Eight,
Happy
nice.
Dad and Royal Reserve.
Yeah. Your daughter
10
can
out of
walk
10,
home.
dude.
Your daughter can walk
This
home.
is,
Yeah.
this is a 10 out of 10. I
Beautiful.
don't give a
Yeah.
shit. People shit on Royal Reserve. R&R is my go-to.
It's the way to go, man.
Cody, I would give you a standing ovation, but I'm not wearing pants, so I won't do that right now. So that brings to an end our favorite segment called I like it. The segment has been extended. All right.
Yeah, get right into it, man.
That's
Get into
awesome, man.
it. Get comfortable.
So Cody, we normally structure these like interview style, but you know what? We figured we're just gonna kind of chat and wing it and let things happen
Yeah.
organically. Paul, you
Shoot the
mentioned
shit.
since you set this up, Paul, you said you had a couple of questions. So if you want to start with those, we can do that. Or
Well, I got a
You can
pretty.
do Hold My Beer again.
I touched on it before, man, when I was talking about when I was saying like the Canadian style humor. You know, like I mean, now I was prompted to watch Smoke Signals after I watched Hey Victor, just because like I was like, okay, what's going on with this guy? And it's much different, right? Like Smoke Signals has a much more of a dramatic feel to it, right? And so where did that transition happen? Like, did you never did stand-up comedy or anything like that before, did you?
Oh yeah, I did stand up back in the day. I
Okay.
don't anymore. I was doing stand up back in 2010, like 2010 through like 2015 ish.
Nice.
I actually got there was a stand up contest at the Ha Ha Cafe in North Hollywood that I got in. I got 3rd out of 50, which was pretty
wow.
fucking cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Nice.
that was hosted by Marlon Wayans. Marlon Wayans was hosting that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was over a couple weeks, and then everyone like got eliminated, and I was still in there. I was like, holy shit, I'm still in this thing. And then I got third, but
That's awesome.
I felt a little cheated. The chick who got second place, her boyfriend ran the comedy place, and I was like, get out of here, dude. And the guy who won first is pretty good. But I guess he's like a local there, goes there all the time, and I just like showed up. I was like, I'll fucking throw my name in the hat, and so I did stand up back in the day, but with the different smoke. So we made Hey Victor so that you technically don't have to watch Smoke Signals to understand it, the references. But if you have seen it, it just makes it that much more. Smoke Signals is such an iconic film in Indigenous culture, and ever since we made that. All throughout my teenage years, into my 20s, and now into my 30s, I've been called Victor. Hey, Victor! Oh, there's Victor! Especially at like the powwow or any social events. It's like, oh, that's Victor! Cody, that's Victor! And I've done several projects since. No one gives a shit about them. I've won awards for other projects. No one gives a shit about those. I'm Victor. It's kind of like Macaulay Culkin with like Home Alone, right? So
really.
And I'm okay with it. And I was like, you know what? Let's make a crazy film about like the child actors all grown up, 20 years later, and where they at now. So I just made myself this wild fucking drunk who drinks a bunch of R&R and like,
goes on ridiculous podcast.
Fictionalized versions of ourselves, and I made sure all the Smoke Signals cast that was on board with Hey Victor was able to we're going to make jokes about ourselves, make fun of ourselves. This is, and especially with Indigenous cinema, there's a lot of heavy content. There's a lot of heavy material coming out, and there's good stuff. Don't get me wrong. There's like a lot of it's very informative, like documentaries, but a lot of it is about traumatic events and stuff like that. Residential schools and loss of language and culture and land. Understandable. I get it. Keep making those. I like joking around. I'm the dude cracking jokes at the funeral. I'm big on too soon jokes. That's my shit. And so I'm like, dude, we got to make something funny. We got to make something funny and laugh. So that's why that's kind of where we.
Well, you noticed it, man. I noticed it too, and after watching it a couple times, I noticed that like this guy's got chops, man. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass here, but like you can tell that your ability to be absolutely absurd is one thing. Yeah. But then there's a few times like near the middle and the end of the movie where you're like, this guy's got some soul to him. You can see you're acting. So I was like, did this guy do stand-up comedy? Did he take acting? Like, how did you get to learn it? Come to see your the amount of movies you've been in, you've definitely had your fair experience of acting in your whole life. Like you've been doing this your whole life, right?
Over 30 years, since I was a little kid. My mom, so we're from Edmonton. But my mom moved my siblings and myself down to LA back in 89, 90. I was like 3 or 4 years old. So I grew up there. I spent my summers and winters up here, like my summer breaks up here with my dad on the res and with my family here in Edmonton and Enoch and Hobima, or it's Musquechies now, but so in Edmonton. And then I've been back up here living full time for 13 years now. But so we grew up in the industry, and as natives. So before I grew this fucking beard and cut my hair, I had a long braid and no hair here. Brown kid. I was a skateboarder, a surfer, and there weren't a lot of parts for my look, right? For young native kids. So the parts that I got were few and far between. It was like one project per year kind of thing. And it was these leathers and feathers projects that everyone knows about, right? Like the period pieces. And it wasn't like too challenging, to be honest. Like it wasn't like, as far as range of like character, it was all the same. And now recently, within the last, how many years, now natives are making a huge impact on on screen with Res Dogs and Rutherford Falls and my film Hey Victor and I'm missing some right now off the top of my head, but there's so many coming out now. It's cool to be native now, right? It wasn't fucking cool for a long time.
It sucks to have to say that. It sucks for you to even have to say that. You know what I mean? And but like at the same time, like I mean, there's no question the talent on that film just alone, right? And I know it's all from from Smoke Signals, you had the same cast, but guys like Adam Beach and Cheeseman, she's pretty great. Your co-star Kate in the movie, she was great too. Like I was like, that's the thing. It's opening up doors to new actors and new people that you wouldn't have known before, and you're like, holy shit, and then you go down this route and you see what they're about. So I think you're doing a really good job with it, and everything's awesome. I mean, as far as me, I don't want to hog all the questions because I could talk to you all day, man. But I was concerned about it. I wanted to know about that.
Yeah, man. Did you have a lot of support from other Canadian actors and just people working on the film? Like I know Colin Mockery was in Hey Victor, but did you have a lot of Canadian actors kind of reaching out to you to help out with your project?
Yeah, 100%. But the only thing is, the way we got our funding, we had to keep it Alberta, as far as like crew and stuff like that. Cast we can bring in from wherever, but our crew was pretty tight knit to Alberta. And my co-writer Sam, he lives in LA. He was our one American that we were allowed to have, right?
The token American.
Yeah. Otherwise, just for like the taxes and our fees and what we have to pay and how all the financial stuff, which is not my world. That was
like
my
a
first
union.
time brought in.
You guys have actors unions too, yeah.
Yeah, so we were able to get, and that kind of worried me a little bit because all my friends that I grew up making films with live in the States. And they're all people that I trust. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to bring on this person and this person. This person is like, no. And I'm like, shit. So we only, not just Canada, but Alberta. Damn it. Well, what if there's no one here that I like or trust? I was blown away. My crew was so fucking solid, man. Like, they were so good. And I think that's for a few reasons. One, it was end of COVID. Everyone wanted to get back to goddamn work. And people were taking anything. But two, they're just very passionate here. Very passionate crew here. And I was blessed to have everyone on. I didn't have any blowouts or no bullshit on set. I've been on sets where, an actor like freaks out or crews arguing with each other. There was none of that. It was so dope. All the way to the very end, our rap party, and people are all crying like, "This is the best film we've ever worked on." Woo! And it's like, yeah.
How long did that whole process take? Like, how long did it take you to put Hey Victor together?
So the actual filming, we did 21 days of filming, which was insane.
But
that's it?
Yeah. We were able to get
much.
a lot because we had two cameras swinging the whole time, like mockumentary style.
Yeah.
We were able to just kind of pump through things a lot faster than a standard, like your wide shot, you're establishing, you're over the shoulder, that would take way too long. So the way we shot it was a benefit to us in that area, in that aspect. But we wrote this, I pitched it originally as a short film, just to have fun. Me and Simon Baker, just to do a short film about the child actors years later, where they at now, and just joke around. It was like a 13-page short, and we didn't get it. And the people in the pitch session were like, dude, this is more than a short film. This is a fucking feature or a series. We're like, what? And we're like, shit. So got in touch with some people, my good buddy Sam Miller. We went up to Banff, locked ourselves in a cabin for like a good week, pumped out the first draft of the script.
Fuck, how'd that go?
Wow, a week?
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Super fast, man.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
anyway.
Anyway, what exactly we did.
I got a good idea.
All right.
Yeah.
We had some fun. Yeah. So we after a couple of versions of the script and then getting in touch with all the other actors from Smoke Signals, everyone was on board and they thought it was a great, unique, original idea. So we had a lot of support, like what Jordan is asking. We had a ton of support from the actors, crew, everyone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to know how different is it writing stand-up versus writing a screenplay? Like, it's got to be so different to do, right?
100%. 100%. Well, stand-up, you go open mics, you try stuff, you get critiques from your buddies and friends, and it's kind of trial and error with scripts and stuff like that. One thing I learned though when I was younger, when I started dabbling into writing, was I was trying to format it properly like a script. And my friends would read it and go, this isn't you. Write the way you talk. Write it the way you speak. All the dialogue, it seems like you're forcing something. So that's where Sam Miller, my partner, and I, Sam's published a few New York Times top 10 selling books. He was in a band called Paradise Fears. Like, he's huge over in like Tokyo. It's trippy. Yeah, he's very good at structure and stuff like that. He's really good at first act, second act, third act. He went to film school in LA. And so with my storytelling and my jokes and my characters and stuff like that and him, we vibed so well together. We meshed so well. And so I would just be like going, blah, 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 and he's like, typing it down. Okay. And I'm like, and then this happens. He goes, okay, well, let's hold this for this part. And we just went back and forth, and that's where we were able to pump this bad boy out. So it was a collaborative effort.
I noticed that with your
Incredible.
there's a few scenes in the movie that I was like, I love when like, especially when there's that kind of like not mockumentary style, but like the scene where you go to see your kids and they show you the picture of them and you're like, oh God, what? And you're like, why am I so far? And then you just get back to the rest of the scene, you know, but like, why am I so far? And then he shows a picture and like, you're over here and the kids are here. But it's just shit like that, like, you know, no, it's because of squirrels, so they don't fuck up his, you know, and you just keep going with the scene. It's so it adds a realism to it that it's like, fuck, that's so funny. Like, they scripted that, but it's the way he presented that joke was like why am I so far? You know, it's just, I love that kind of stuff too. It really, those idiosyncrasies, right? Those little tiny things that are added in. They really make something funnier than it is. You know?
Yeah, man. So I made sure, like, and all the actors knew when I was auditioning people, you have to be able to improv. You have to be able to just go with whatever happens. Our script is our guideline. It's just guideline. If there's something that works, let's go on it. If something sucks, get rid of it. I'm not one of those writers that's like, no, stick to what I wrote. Hell no. If it's not working, get rid of it. So that's why there was things in the scene that we were just playing with. And Hannah Cheeseman is hilarious and a great writer. Same with Conway Kootenai, who played my uncle. He's a comedian and a writer as well. Yeah. We're all writers and comedians. So that was where we really like, it was like perfect that we all were able to like align with each other in that way.
Conway Kootenai's been in a few movies too. He was in The Score, was he not, with Robert De Niro and Edward Norton? Was he not?
Conway Kootenai. I don't know if he was in that. He was in a movie that was made in Alberta called Guitar Lessons.
Okay.
Yeah, he's really big in the hockey community here. He has a character that he does called Smudge Pan, where he shows up all funny and he like goes to hockey games. And
but man, I looked up the fucking actors that you worked with, like Bradley Cooper, Johnny Depp, Don Cheadle. Like, man, it's quite the you know, it's quite the background. You know, those are some good names to be able to drop. You get to work with these guys. I mean, just because you're in the same movie as them, it's not necessarily you're always with them in the same scenes, but what was it like working with those guys?
Well, shit. So, like Johnny Depp, when I was a kid, I was on a film called The Brave. It was never released. Yeah. So he made it. He wrote and directed it. It went to Cannes Film Festival. It didn't do well, so we just put it in a vault. Never released it. And that was with Marlon Brando. It was with him. I played his son. And that would have been the film. That would have been the film if it would have been released. That would have like boosted me into Hollywood child fame. And it didn't. But for some reason, it was a blessing. Because like you look at all these child stars, dude, and they all go down a really dark path.
Gone. Yeah.
I did too. I'm no exception. But I wasn't in the limelight. I've been to treatment 2-3 times, dude. I went to school for addiction and skipping. I still sip and stuff like that. I live my life, but I've had a roller coaster of stuff, but I wasn't like out there, like in the public eye with the stuff. So it was like a weird blessing for some reason that it didn't happen. And then, you know, working with Don Cheadle, that was awesome. He played my therapist, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt played my roommate in a film called
You worked with him a couple times.
Yeah. So Joe was a good, not so much now, but he was a good buddy of mine when we were younger working. He took off like huge, but he gave me a call for the film Brick as well. He's like, hey buddy, where you at? And I was like, I'm in LA for like a week. He goes, want to come be in this film called Brick? And I was like, sure. And Brick is huge. Ryan Johnson.
You say yes to that.
Star Wars.
You say yes. Yeah.
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 I was like, yeah.
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 Let me check
So
the
all-
schedule. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone I've worked with, like big names, up and comers, it's always been. I mean, you work with the occasional asshole or the bitch, you know, that
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh God, you're just horrible. Like just
Yeah.
and it's like, if you're not a team player, get the hell out of here. I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a different outlook because it's weird to say this, but people are like, Cody's a veteran, and I'm like, I guess I kind of am. Like, I'm a young veteran, but I've done this my whole life, so I've seen like every which way that things can go on a set. And when you just have like bad energy, it's just cancerous, and it's like, ugh. Yeah, I would never do that. When I show up, I check my shit at the door, and I'm there.
Yeah.
For
Well, you
what I'm
got it
supposed to
right.
be there
Yeah, you
for.
absolutely have to. I remember I was I just to touch on what you said there about Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I remember I was I did martial arts my entire life. I taught martial arts for a long time, and a friend of mine, he's big in movies now. He's worked with Jean-Claude Van Damme, Nicolas Cage, worked with a lot of guys like, and it's like 12 years ago, like I'm sitting on my couch, you know, and I'm just fucking like watching fucking Forrest Gump or something. And I just get a text and he's like, want to be in a movie tomorrow? And I'm just like, I've been waiting for this text my entire life. My entire life. And it was like 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. for 5 days straight. And I like called in sick to work and I was like, I'm part of it. But it's on Amazon Prime now. And I played it extra, but it was a dream come true, right? So to touch on what you said, you know, I mean, even though you've been in a lot of movies before, but when someone says, you know, someone you respect says, hey, do you want to do this project with me? Like, this is fate calling, you know what I mean? So it's, it's awesome.
So, Cody, I got something you said kind of triggered a question. Of all the actors you've worked with so far, Cody, who surprised you the most? Like you had a certain image of what you thought they were like, and they were complete opposite. Does anyone come to mind that surprised you in that way? Either, well, hopefully good or bad.
I gotta be careful with this.
Let's say in a good way. Let's say in a good way.
Okay, in a good way.
We only have
in a good way.
Subscribers, so
yeah. Trash.
When we're off, we can talk about the, you know, like
Who surprised you the best in a good way? Let's just word it like that.
Shit. There's been so many. Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke. I just worked with Ethan Hawke on a pilot that shot down in Oklahoma. It's not out, so I don't even know if. Hopefully, it gets picked up. But I got to work with him and have a scene with him. He's rad. Ethan's
that's
really
awesome.
cool.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. Bradley Cooper is one of the most humble and kind-hearted, fucking sweet people you will ever meet. He's such a great dude. Like across the board, he's just like on and off the ice. That dude's fucking a champ. And then of course, like Adam Beach, when I was a kid, getting to work with Adam, I remember watching Adam in a film called Dance Me Outside, and he was like, "Woo, yeah!" Like, and then when me and Simon got to work with them, we were just listening to like Pantera and Metallica in the room and body slamming each other and just like being kids, and that shit was fun. Yeah, that was fun.
Awesome. Have you ever seen Pantera live?
No. So I just saw Metallica here in
Amazing,
Edmonton. Pantera opened the first night, but it's the Pantera like cover or like tribute or something like that.
Zach Wild? Wasn't Zach Wild playing for him?
I didn't see them that night. I saw them on a Sunday.
Okay, yeah.
So it's Five Finger Death Punch, and then Metallica. And,
Metallica's awesome, live.
Oh, dude, yeah, just that was nothing but just like headbanging and thrusting.
God, it's unreal. I saw him here a couple years ago, and like 66,000 people are there, and like, man, to tell you, like I've been to concerts before, boy, but there's something. I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about the crowd, how nuts the crowd is. And you imagine those guys been doing that for what 30, 40 years, like just controlling human beings like that, right?
Yeah, Metallica was the first concert that I ever saw. Like that's way to break your cherry. Like,
that's a good one. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing, Cody. We got a lot more questions, but we know your time's valuable, so we don't want to keep you all day. So we got to move on to a segment. We have no intro for this. I'm so embarrassed. Our producer Raul is off sick again. So we're going to do a segment called Would You Rather? And I'm sure you know how this works. So basically, I will bring up a topic or a question. We'll go around the room, and you guys can all answer.
Sounded the R&R. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Right, take a
yeah,
swig
hold
of that
on. Yeah.
Oh, would I? Okay, hold on.
Yeah. Loosen up.
All right, first question. We're going to start with Jordan and go to Paul and then Cody for this one. The question is, would you rather be 11 feet tall or 9 inches tall? 11 feet tall or 9 inches tall? Jordan.
I think I'd rather be 11 feet tall so I don't get stepped on. That's the only thing I have. It really both fucking suck. Like I'm either gonna die.
Jordan, I think you're misinterpreting what the question is here, my man.
Yeah.
Or 9 inches?
Yeah.
11 feet tall or 9 inches?
Well,
we're 11 feet tall with a 6-inch dick. Oh.
I'm half black, so I mean that's I'm already that. So maybe I need to try something different, you know.
All right, so 11 feet tall with a 9-inch penis. All right, Jordan, we hear you loud and clear.
So that
would still look like tiny. Like
that'd look
you're 11 feet tall with a 9-inch dick. It's not proportionate.
Yeah.
What about 9 inches tall with an 11-foot? No, never mind. All right, let's go down to Paul. Paul, 11 feet tall or 9 inches?
Oh, same question for me.
Paul. Yeah.
Well, I'm already 6'3", so we just tack on an extra 5 feet to that. You know, what's the difference? I would say I would rather be 9 inches tall, because you know, like you can hide a lot more. You know what I mean? You can get away. Like I can. Actually, no, my cat would fucking eat me.
yeah.
Like I'd be toast. So yeah, I'd take the 11 feet. Yeah.
How would you do stand up, man? You'd have to stand on a stool.
Yeah, you have to be standing up pretty tall. Yeah.
Why is the vibrator talking?
Yeah.
Exactly. So 9 inches tall. Cody, what about you, man? 11 feet or 9 inches?
9 inches tall. Remember the movie Willow, the brownies?
Yeah.
They're like drinking beer and like partying. I think about that, and then I think about like just all the shit I can get into and get away with. I mean, if you're 11 feet tall,
that's what I mean.
Yeah, like Andre the Giant had a horrible life. Like he had a good life, like he was rich, but like he was always miserable. Like on a plane, nothing fits. You know, like that would just be uncomfortable at all times. If you're little, you can fuck around. You can do anything. Yeah, ride on your buddy's shoulder.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah,
you could look up and see a lot of interesting things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or nasty.
Exactly.
All
right, we got 2 more questions to go. We'll start with Cody this time. Cody, you're in a crowded elevator. Would you rather pass gas loudly, or the person beside you passes gas loudly?
I would pass gas. I would cut fucking ass. That's one of my favorite things. And so there's sometimes even like making the joke of it. Like I
one of my favorite things.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Have you done it before?
Like, oh shit, yeah. And so
nice.
Farting in an elevator and crop dusting at the gym are 2 of my favorite things to do. No one knows who did it. Everyone's just like, someone's a fucking asshole. Who did that? And I'm just like, I'd cut ass in an elevator all day, every day.
Oh, boy,
that's amazing. Paul, what about you?
I would go for the person doing it, like not me doing it, because if I did it, I would fucking ruin. The elevator would break. Like it would, I would have everybody in there would want to kill me, and so I would pick the other person doing it, so I could just point the blame at the other person.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather be in an elevator with Cody. Put it that way.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
would
you rather smell Would you rather smell your own fart or somebody else's? Like I don't want to smell anybody else's.
So I can't.
I want to smell my own.
I have no sense of smell, so I couldn't smell shit. You can shit in my face. I couldn't tell you. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm 100% passing gas and then gaslighting the guy beside me, and it's probably going to be Cody. And be like, dude, what the fuck? Did you shit yourself?
Gaslighting. It's never taken on such a more of a literal term.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Remind
Cody,
me
are you
never
happy you
ride.
did this podcast? Eh?
Oh man.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I love it.
Note to self: never ride an elevator with Jordan. All right, we got one more, and then we get to final thoughts. Jordan, we'll start with you. In the bedroom scene in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, I'm sure you all know which one I'm talking about. They're in the bed. Those aren't pillows. You know the scene I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right? Would you rather be Steve Martin or John Candy? Jordan.
Oh, is there even a right answer to this? I'll take a turn as both. Why not? I could be Steve Martin and John
No, you
Candy.
can't. You can't be both. No, that's
Fine,
no, you can't.
I'll be
You got to
John
pick
Candy.
one.
I'll be John Candy. I always wanted to have a couple extra pounds on me. So yeah, I get to be fluffy for a little bit, even though the scene is very,
All right. So you're happy slipping your hand between some guy's butt cheeks.
Why not? I already do it, so why not?
All righty. Again, never sleep with Jordan again. Paul, let's go down to you, man. Are you Steve Martin or John
would
Candy?
I rather be Neil Page or Del Griffith?
Yeah, thank you. I couldn't remember the characters' names. Thank you.
Neil Page and Del Griffith. Yeah. I would. I'd rather be John Candy. It's just an absolute fucking pain in the ass, but just so lovable. Because that's me, really. That's exactly me. Like, I annoy the shit at everybody till they love me. I'm just used to that. So, you see that Bears game the other day? Yeah, the Bears, they got a good defense this year. Yeah. I'd rather be John Candy.
All right, we got two John Candys. Is it a clean sweep, Cody? Are you John Candy or Steve Martin?
It's not a sweep. I'd be Steve Martin. I would be Steve Martin because I have been Steve fucking Martin several times where you're shit is just not working. The frustration, oh my God, giving this a chance. Things are fucking just like, oh my God. Anyone who's traveled with me has experienced that. I'm actually a very good travel partner. I will say that. But I get in situations sometimes where it's like, of course this is happening. Of course this is going down. And I feel like in Planes, Trains, Automobiles, I'm more of a Steve Martin man.
Nice.
All right. So again, you don't mind having someone's hand slip between your butt cheeks. Is that what you're saying?
Not at all.
I don't think he would.
Well,
I don't think he would. Yeah.
It's a helping hand. It's a helping hand.
I'm coming to Edmonton, Cody. Look out.
There we go. That's awesome. Before we get to final thoughts, there's something else I just wanted to ask you, Cody, about the actors that you've worked with. Is there anybody that you haven't worked with that you're just, I'd love to work with that person? And if there is, who is that person?
I've been asked this before. This one's tricky. So there's not one specific actor I would love to work with because, like you said before, there's some people you might think are great, and you meet them, you're like, you're not that cool.
Yeah,
and vice versa.
Yeah.
People who you've heard are horrible to work with, and you're like, we vibe totally fine. So there's not as one specific person, and this might be like, I love working with my friends. I love working with up-and-coming people. I want to promote and boast anyone that's coming up. I want to help anyone that's on the rise to get that much farther. So to kind of continue along the path I've been, which is just working with my buddies, working with people I know are funny or that can give me, well, now that I'm directing and stuff like that, what I'm asking of from them. But if I did have to, gun to my head, I have to pick one. It would be a face-off with, I don't know, shit. How about Nicolas Cage?
Oh wow,
Good choice.
We can go Nick Cage.
Old Kage. Yeah, he's the man. He's the man.
And why would you pick Nick Cage?
Because he's awesome.
I mean, he's done everything. He's so suave with like everything. But then I've never met him in person. What if I met him and I'm like, cancel that, screw this?
Yeah. It's tricky. I can see how it's tricky, and you can see how you'd want to stick with your core group of buddies who you trust, who you know you mesh well with, who you work well with, who they trust you. You know what I mean? Because that's I'd say that's half the humor that goes off of like something, especially like, hey Victor, like you need to know when to say something, like especially with improv, like to advance something and have them feed on it. You know what I mean? Instead of blocking it. And you know, having that mesh well with your friends, that's where all the true magic is, right?
Yep, 100%.
Yeah. Well, Cody, we've had you for a long time. We would love to have you back. There's like about 40 questions here on this card that I would love to ask you. Like I say, the door's always open. Anytime you want to come back, we would love to have you back. We're going to get to some final thoughts and get ready to rock out to this intro. I'm most proud of this one. Final thoughts coming up next. Nobody's dancing, man. I'm watching you guys. You guys are normally like all.
Yeah, you can see us, eh? Like you can.
They're not dancing, man.
Yeah.
I think that's the Cody effect. Anyway, final thoughts. We're going to go around the room. Let's start with you, Jordan. Your final thoughts for this amazing episode 26.
Oh man, I was pumped for this episode. Thank you, Cody, for agreeing to come on, man. I was shocked you said yes. So thank you. Great to share a beer. If you ever come down to Ottawa, please let us know and we'll get a beer in person. That would be fucking awesome. And if not, maybe I'll see you on a set sometime soon. Got a lady show tonight. Go Packers, go. That's it for me. And I'll see you guys next week. Yeah.
Right on. Thank you, Jordan. Paul, a final thought.
Again, this was very, very like I've told a lot of people about this, you know, and I've been pumping your name up, Cody, for ever since I saw your movie, and I'm really, really pleased, and I'm really humbled, and thank you so much for coming on, man. You made three guys feel really good. You just like you said before, I love to bring people up. I love to, you know, get people going in the right direction. Well, that's what you're kind of doing for us, right? And it's cool to see that there's people out there that don't put their nose up to people like us, and it really means a lot to me, man. I'm so happy that we got a chance to meet you, and I hope to see you again sometime, man.
Amazing. Thank you, Paul. My final thought before we get to you, Cody, is thank you, Paul, for setting this up. Cody, the only thing I'm going to say is, like, you're a freaking super cool guy. You're like an amazing guy. You're very talented. And, you know, besides all the accolades, you're just a really fun and cool guy to do a podcast with. So I sincerely, I'm sincere in saying anytime you want to come back, we would love to have you back and do this again.
Cheers, thanks.
With that, final thought to you, Cody Lightning.
Final thought. Well, I grew up watching Jerry Springer's Final Thought. Man, that show was wild. But hey, Dave, Jordan, Paul, fucking cheers, boys. Thank you for having me on.
Cheers.
It was fun. I'll do it anytime you want. Paul, thanks for sliding in those DMs at 3 a.m.
That's right, man. Usually when I do it.
That's
usually
awesome.
when I do it.
I had to show my girlfriend, like, let me see. I'm like, look.
I swear to God, it's a guy. Yeah.
More than 3/4 of the times people slide into DMs, it's dudes. Like, hey, dude, I thought your stuff was funny. Hey, man, you want to do this? It's guys. So it's not.
Yeah.
It's not like chicks going like, hey, hot stuff. Like, you know.
Check this out. Yeah.
But anyways, hilarious. I love vibing with you guys. The questions were great. Yeah, man. Anytime you guys want to chat again, have me on board. I'm freaking 100% down, dude. Thanks, boys. Jordan,
fucking right.
Paul, and Dave.
Thank you. And with that, thank you, everybody. And we will see you all next time. And new WWE champion, Paul Moore.